Greetings and salutations, everyone. Got something a little different for you. I know I usually do pistols, but Daria reached out to me to send me one of their 5 different types of TM22 rifles. They were going to send me the metal version, but I don't have a long range available. I'm going to put a scope on and all that. So I actually switched up on them and said, please send me the Flash 18. It just so happens that they sent it in wolf gray for me. If that was on purpose, that's friggin' awesome. If that's just laws of attraction, I am okay with that. I think having 22 rifles is extremely important just as a trainer, as well as a potential survival item to teach everyone good, safe firearm safety. We are clear and empty, as you see with this nice chamber flag here. And what this is a 22 LR, kind of cool looking rifle with a 4-position adjustable stock in this version. As I said, there are 5 different versions. HR Funk looked at one. I was going to look at the metal, but I don't have a long distance, nor do I have an extra scope to throw on. So I said I would want the lighter weight. Speaking of weight, this is 4.85 pounds. So I wanted the lighter because it's easier to train people, and yet this still has an 18-inch barrel for good ballistics and pest control or hunting if you needed it to do that in certain situations. This is threaded here, 1/2 by 28, so you are good to go there. This particular model comes with the flip-up sights, which I badly wanted because I just don't have an extra scope laying around because I'm typically a pistol channel, right? But I do see the importance of having long guns and having a long gun trainer. So we got flip-up adjustable sights, which is great. I hopefully will get those pretty dialed in quickly. We have a nice full, thick, it feels like a real, especially up here, feels like a very real firearm. It's a nice thick handguard. 18-inch barrel, as I said. We do have a little bit here if you wanted to put a bipod or perhaps a weapon-mounted light, something to that effect. It comes with 2 of these YouTube compliant little itty bitty cute 10-rounders. They sent me 2 15s. Originally, they were going to send 115 and 125. Apparently, by the time I changed the order on them, they said the 25 disappeared. Maybe it went over there to GB Guns, Graham Bates, who I hung out with at the GOA Goal Show, which is where I met the Daria people. Now, they are a Turkish brand, but they are also based in Florida. HR Funk just did comparing 3 different versions. Their DY9, a comped, a ported, and a standard DY9, which is kind of a Glockish clone pistol that takes block mags. And I am hoping in the future, as soon as they can get me one available, I really hope they will send me their DY9Z, their new slimline model, 3.5-inch barrel, the way I like, 15 plus, even though it's slimline, with a long enough barrel that I trust hull point expansion going through multiple layers of clothing. Now this guy feels good, light. I can swing it really well. Has a very nice ergonomic grip. And instead of just standard, this kind of rubber tacky feels very good. It's very thin from here to here, so there's actually very short trigger reach. So for training, neighbors, training your kids, grandkids, whatever, it's going to be fine because of this kind of cutout here makes the trigger reach. I use the distal joint. You can go very good for kids, smaller statured women, etc., and so forth. So that's awfully good. It has a fairly intimidating look, which as a defensive tool could be important to some people. I don't recommend 22 long rifle, certainly not from a pistol, but from a rifle, maybe if it's reliable with proven ammo and it's cleaned. And I just lubed it. I hand racked the slide. Did this about 110 times. I do that with all my firearms. You lube and you break it in and get mechanical parts moving and rubbing off, maybe some burrs and that kind of thing. So hopefully we will have good reliability at the range. Flat face trigger feels pretty good. There's a little bit of sponge take up, but a nice flat face trigger. This model has the more updated version. They had a different version. I think the metal version might still have the old safety. This is very ergonomic. Instead of switching 90 degrees, down like a 1911 fire. That's really good for the American market. On this side of the firearm, You see here, I can easily reach the typical magazine release. That's awfully nice. So it's a good facsimile, a good trainer. It's not that hard to learn a 90-degree flip here versus this. So as a good trainer, as well as maybe at a distance, this gives off a certain profile that even the teenager or smaller statured or out of shape elderly woman that's carrying this versus something else, if things ever got to that, because of less weight, particularly in the ammo and magazines, which is drastic to carry, a loadout of a centerfire rifle cartridge that you all know and love with 7 mags versus something like this with 22 or at least 4 or 5 mags and little ones of these stuffed in a pockets, and this and that backpack with the 3-day survival Vertec backpack I have here, this 3-day pack here. This 22 rifle is definitely something kind of overlooked for those situations. This might not air for a while, but right now it is snowpocalypse. It is just starting to hit. Don't know how bad that's going to get. About 4 days ago, we had the biggest CME electromagnetic geostorm, a level 4 geostorm in 20 years, the largest in 20 years. We got very, very lucky that things didn't completely shut down. We got extremely lucky the way that things work, that the whole world didn't shut down just a few days ago. And we've been getting more and more of these big coronal mass injections, electromagnetic storms, sign up for NOAA alerts, and that kind of thing. So you never know when things might go kind of bad. 22 as a trainer is very good. And 22, as I said, if you have someone in your party that isn't in the shape or elderly or young, they're 13 years old or whatever, where, they're not going to be able to hump, move well with heavy, a backpack, extra clothes, water, food, and ammo, whatever. It's the weight of magazines and ammo is a lot different with a 22 rifle. So just as a fun trainer, to plink for cheap, to maybe for pest control, maybe for hunting if it comes to shooting squirrels and critters. I'm not a hunter. I'm a very emotional person. I'm an animal lover. But if I had to for survivability's sake, that kind of thing. I love that this one happened to be in gray, so I totally dig this, and I hope that they will let me maybe purchase this if all goes well. Daria, like I said, has all kinds of pistols. They got a really awesome looking shotgun. Maybe once I get use of a bigger range, maybe I can review the shotgun. I have 5 new buckshot loads for home defense to do that I haven't done in the past, so I would like to do that. Speaking of ammunition, I have 7 different types of ammo I'm going to break out. These are kind of the better, higher velocity ones here. 38 grain super extra. We got 40 grain Dynapoint small hollow point, so target and expansion. More expansion here with 36 grain. Auto match right there. So I got 236 copper plated hollow points. I've got the better 40 grain rounds, the 38 grain high velocity. We got some Blazer lead round nose, only going to do a few of these once it's broken in a bit. And same thing with this Winchester lead round nose 40 grain to see if it runs with the real cheap stuff. I plan to, kind of break it in with this kind of stuff first, just to get everything moving. It's a mechanical tool. That's how it is. Now, I know you're way high up there because I'm usually down here looking at pistols. So I will give you another look. I think this is and it's very, very budget. All the models, other than the metal, which is maybe a few more ducks, are very, very, very budget friendly. And so if you want something that has more of that look and the feel with the handguard, it feels like, those Evil Black things. This one is gray, so it's totally okay. 4-position stock, so length of pull is very important. The metal has a thick stock. Now I'm 5'11". I thought I would need it. I usually go to a 3rd position, but on this, I think I like the 2nd position on this. The flip-up sights on this, it is a double aperture, so I got the small circle. We got a tiny little notch in here if you needed more precision. It would probably change your elevation a slight bit, though. So I got a tiny peep there, or you can flip that back for the wider peep right there. Sorry if you can see that. So I got a wide peep, or I'm probably going to just leave it on this small peep. And, I'm happily impressed with this. And GB Guns was as well, and he's pretty particular as well. For a lighter weight version, the handguard feels very good. It looks very good. I mean, it has a fake look of a castle nut there. The adjustable stock, nice rubber base pad. Maybe for the kids, you could raise up this cheek piece there if you needed to. Very nice ergonomic, good texture if it was kind of raining outside or you were in the field hunting some game or something. Very ergonomic safety, easy charging handle. Seems to be decent, easy loading magazines, even though they don't have a pull down. I've been watching reviews, easy loading magazines. I hope if I like it, hopefully I can pick up some YouTube compliant 25 rounders. Again, these are 15 and 10. So compliant in almost all states, even here with this one, with a little banana. And I'm excited, actually. I think this is pretty cool. I've only done one other 22 long rifle review way in the past. And this is something that I'm hoping to add to my collection, or maybe I'll send it back. You never know how these things go or if they demand it back. I don't know because I haven't worked with them before. As I said, they are about to, I think, hopefully be getting in some of their slimline pistols. So there's the DY9. It's kind of like a smaller G19, a little bit smaller in the grip and the barrel. Good for concealed carry, budget option. And HR Funk's reviewed a bunch of them, so look at that. And but they got a Z model that's slim and still 15 plus with their own metal magazine and a 3.5-inch barrel. And I'm like, wow, lightweight, real small, but still 3.5-inch barrel for hollow point expansion. That's the kind of thing that really interests me for everyday carry. And if you are only thinking bug out with a bag and, a center fired cartridge with heavy ammo, you better in your group, let's say you have a group of 4 people, there should be 2 22 long rifles and probably 2 12-gauge shotguns in there as well, or 1 12-gauge and 1 308 bolt gun. I'm just saying if you ever needed to from hunting small to big. And the other thing, of course, is 22s. This will be very quiet with 18-inch barrel for nice ballistics again, even without a thing that might go on the end. 22s are very quiet, meaning if I had to shoot twice, it's still hard to geolocate your position. You know what I mean, just from auditory with echoes, because 22 is so short. Even with high velocity rounds, let alone quiet rounds, this probably won't function the bolt with quiet rounds. You'd have to manually cycle it, but still very quiet. So if you're not thinking of having some of these in your party, especially for that, safe teenager maybe, or the wife that's older, or mom that's older that's not in shape, or even yourself that's not in shape, I can carry all this and have hundreds of rounds for the weight of something else. So anyway, guys, please thumbs up, share, subscribe, and check them out because there's 5 different versions. So this is the Flash TM22. There's 5 different versions of the TM22. Like I said, HR looked at one. There's the metal. There's a slightly different looking, one, and the carry handle, and there's all kinds of things. I like this one because it's got the flip-up sights already, and I needed them, and the adjustable stock that I wanted. That way, I can go from a tall boy to the little kids, or whatever, whoever you're training, etc. So I think as a great trainer and a survival tool, this thing might be really good. Please thumbs up, share, subscribe. Always comment on 2A channels, or they're all going to go away. Always drop a comment. Let me know what you think of 22 long rifle. Some of this ammo here and the others were 36 grain Federal and Winchester copper-plated hollow points. I think we're going to be really good with these with these 4 boxes of rounds here. And I hope you guys will tune into the range review and see the accuracy and how it's running and things like that. So anyway, guys, look at all my playlists, all my MMA combatives and all that kind of thing. If you didn't know, all the different, the Paul Hero tribute playlist, and get combatives and street jiu-jitsu on BJJ Fanatics if you want to learn about awareness and self-defense skills from beginner to advanced. It will really help you out, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks.